cruise at 35. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it does. I don't know what the lowest cruise is on cruise. I don't know what the lowest speed is on cruise. I'm doing 35, maybe 36, but I don't know if you can do it at real low speeds. Ford that I had, the cruise went out. I was driving down the road in Necedah, going to Boston or something like that, back roads, and all of a sudden the car started speeding up. And it was like somebody put their foot on the gas, and when you didn't have your foot on the gas, a heavy foot. And it was going faster and faster. And a few times, and finally one time I had to just turn the car off. It was getting out of control, and I called the mechanic, or I think I talked to the mechanic or called a mechanic. This was with the Ford, not with this car, and he said to try disconnecting the cruise control. So the rest of the time it fixed it too. So I drove without cruise control for the rest of the time I owned that car. It happened later on when I had the van, in the later years that I had it. So I don't know if I ever got that fixed. I don't think I did. I didn't have a lot of money. And I just didn't, kind of put it off. And then with this car here, last year or something like that, it wasn't that long ago, I got in the car to go to town or something. And it wouldn't slow down. It was like somebody put up 2 bricks on the pedal. Somebody was pushing on the pedal. It was maybe even worse than the other time that happened with the Ford. And I managed to get back home, but it wasn't that easy. I just went right home as soon as I figured out what was going on. It didn't go very far at all. And I had the car towed away. And what had happened is mice got into the air filter, and they just all like messed it up. And that's what caused it. And they put a cage around the parts so the mice couldn't do it again, and they sprayed stuff to deter them. And then they sprayed stuff, I don't know if they sprayed stuff in the car or not, but they sprayed stuff in the compartment, up in the engine compartment. And they put a cage around it so they couldn't do it again, so it wouldn't happen, because that's not any fun to have that happen. And then I got some stuff for in the car here, because mice were getting in here, and I knew it. And I went over to Jose's like a month later, after I'd fixed it, and he had the same thing happen to him. He had something had gotten in. I don't know if he had the speed problem, but something I was wondering where he was, and he was at his car. He was working on his car, and he wasn't very happy because something had gotten into his engine compartment and made a big mess. It did the same thing to him. I don't know if he had the same effect or not, but he had the same kind of mess. A mouse got in there. I think this was last fall. I had to pay over $200 to get that fixed. He had to just kind of, it wasn't very fun for him to, it took him a while to fix it. He wasn't very happy about it, because he had to work on it and fix it. It was his truck. But yeah, it's like somebody stepping on your gas pedal. They got that, the filter was all shredded. They had gone in there and they shredded the filter, and that got into the mechanism, and it must have put the thing that controls the gas wide open. That's actually kind of dangerous. If the person wasn't quite paying attention, you could get in an accident. It disabled the car basically. Apparently it happens quite often. The mice make nests up in there or something. They really made a mess. The guy showed me, and I saw it with Jose what happened. Same thing. They can be quite destructive. I got a thing that every once in a while I can still smell it. It actually has a good smell to it. It has kind of like a piney smell, like a citrus piney smell to it. And I guess mice don't like that. And I've got that in here somewhere. It's not very strong anymore now, but they'll get in and they'll chew on your anything you own. You have to be careful what you leave in the van. If you do leave stuff in the van, it should be in a metal container or something, because they'll get into it. Years ago, I was going to go on a trip, and I put a few things in the van before the trip, and I got these suckers they're made out of xylitol, and they ate 3 of my 6 suckers. They ate them completely. So I realized you can't leave anything in the van, like you can't put anything in the van that's edible early. And if you do, you better put it in a container that's mouse-proof. I've heard of people going on trips and having their stuff eaten too, though. Like if they go to a remote area, the mice will come right in and take it. I've heard of that. But they ate them. Ate 3 of the 6 or something. They're not cheap either. I think I might still have a few of them left yet. But they're a sucker that's made with xylitol. They're flavored and stuff too. They're good. They're actually good for your teeth too. It's a bit of a drive, eh? Back in the woods.